Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Om Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
So, I wanted to talk today about a verse in Bhagavad Gita that I think is very interesting. I noticed it the other day, and I thought it would be nice to talk a little bit about the details that it brings up. And this verse is from the 4th chapter. It's verse 4:14. Namam karmani limpanti, name karma pales briha, iti mam yo bijanati, karmabhir na sabadyate. Namam karmani limpanti, name karma pales briha, iti mam yo bijanati, karmabhir na sabadyate. There is no work that affects me, nor do I aspire for the fruits of action. One who understands this truth about me does not become entangled in the fruit of reactions of work. Again, I'll read the translation. There is no work that affects me. This is Krishna speaking to Arjuna. There is no work that affects me, nor do I aspire for the fruits of action. One who understands this truth about me also does not become entangled in the fruit of reactions of work. So I'll read part of the purport at any rate. As there are constitutional laws in the material world stating that the king can do no wrong, or the king is not subject to the state laws, similarly the Lord, although he is a creator of this material world, is not affected by activities of the material world. He creates and remains aloof from the creation, whereas the living entities are entangled in the fruit of results of material activities because of their propensity for lording it over material resources. The proprietor of an establishment is not responsible for the right and wrong activities of the workers, but the workers are themselves responsible. The living entities are engaged in their respective activities of sense gratification, and these activities are not ordained by the Lord. For advancement of sense gratification, the living entities are engaged in the work of this world, and they aspire to heavenly happiness after death. The Lord, being full in himself, has no attraction for so-called heavenly happiness. The heavenly demigods are only his engaged servants. The proprietor never desires the low-grade happiness such as the workers may desire. He is aloof from the material actions and reactions. For example, the rains are not responsible for different types of vegetation that appear on the earth, although without such rains, there's no possibility of vegetative growth. The Vedic Smriti confirms this fact as follows. Nimitta matram evasao srijjanam sarga karmani pradhana karmani bhuta yato vai srijya saktaye. In the material creations, the Lord is the only supreme cause. The immediate cause is material nature, and by the cosmic manifestation, by which the cosmic manifestation is made visible. The created beings are of many varieties, such as demigods, human beings, lower animals, and all of them are subject to the reactions of their past good or bad activities. The Lord only gives them proper facilities for such activities and the regulations of the modes of nature, but he never is responsible for their past and present activities. In the Vedanta Sutra 2.1.34, it is confirmed. Vishamya nirgrihrine na sapekshat vat. The Lord is never partial to any living entity. The living entity is responsible for his own acts. The Lord only gives him facilities through the agency of material nature or external energy. Anyone who is fully conversant with intricacies of the law of karma or fruitive activities does not become affected by the results of his activities. In other words, the person who understands this transcendental nature of the Lord is never subjected to the laws of karma. One who does not know the transcendental nature of the Lord, who thinks that the activities of the Lord are aimed at fruitive results, as are the activities of the ordinary living entity, certainly becomes entangled himself in fruitive reactions. But one who knows the supreme truth is a liberated soul fixed in Krishna consciousness. Namam karmani limpanti name karma pale spriha iti mam yo bijanati karma bhirna sabhadyate. There is no work that affects me, nor do I aspire for the fruits of action. One who understands this truth about me also does not become entangled in fruitive work. So, I think oftentimes in the material world, many people who are not devotees or have never had any contact with the Vedic scriptures think that God must be some kind of the most extreme of all egotists. That why does he want to be exclusively worshipped? Why should we do everything for him? So they think this is egoism at its best. It's the highest kind of egotistical activities. Why shouldn't God let other people be the top every once in a while? So I think this is how many people in the material world think. But actually this is completely incorrect. And the reason it's incorrect is that God or Krishna never needs anything. We have this verse from the Svetasvatara Upanishad, Tam Ishvaranam Paramam Maheshwaram, Tam Devatanam Paramam Chadaivatim, Patim Patinam Paramam Parastad, Vidama Devam Bhuvamesham Idyam, Natasya Karyam Karanam Chavidyate, Natat Shabas Chabyadikas Chadrishyate, Parasya Shaktir Vividaya Shriyate, Swabhavaki Jnana Bala Kriya Cha. So, this verse says that out of all Ishvaras or controllers, there's one main controller. Out of all planetary leaders, there is one complete leader of all them. Out of all demigods, there is one person who controls them all. No one is equal to or greater than him, and all the energies and powers of all the subsequent or lower controllers, they all come from him to begin with. And the Supreme Lord has senses that can do anything. And whatever he desires is automatically brought about by his own potencies. He doesn't even have to figure out how to do it. So that's where Krishna and the living entities are very different. That when we want something, we have to make some plan on how to get it. And oftentimes we have to work, and in some cases we have to convince others to work with us to make the plan happen. And even then, when we work and when we convince others to work with us to make our plan for what we want occur, we find that it still fails. But the Supreme Lord is not like that. Anything he wants immediately happens. He doesn't even have to think about how it happens. He doesn't have to make some plan for it. He does not have to overcome some obstacle. He has no obstacles to overcome. He has no one he needs to please. He has no one that is going to be powerful enough to stop him. He has no one to compete with. He has no difficulty in having to come up with some mental concept of how to achieve what he wants. It just happens. Parasya Shaktir Vividaya Shruyate. His energies are so complete that they achieve whatever he wants without delay. Just because he wants it, it immediately happens. So what does such a person have that he's missing? What is missing from such a person? As they usually say, usually around Christmas, what do you give the man who's got everything? I use this analogy quite a lot. What do you give to the man who has everything? Krishna is truly the man who has everything. He doesn't want anything. He doesn't need anything from anyone. No one can stop him from getting what he wants. And the idea of wanting is based on desire. We have a desire and we want it fulfilled. And that fulfillment of our desire gives us pleasure. But Krishna is where that pleasure comes from. So Krishna is the source of all pleasure, and thus he is known as Rama, the reservoir of pleasure. So Krishna does not have to work to get pleasure. He is situated in eternal bliss, knowledge, and existence. He is situated in it. So he doesn't have to do anything to get it. So Krishna doesn't need anything. He doesn't need us. He doesn't need the humans, especially, to help him to get something that otherwise he'd have trouble getting. You know, Krishna has no trouble getting anything. So why does he want us to serve him? Now I'm asking you all that question. Why does he want us to serve him? If he doesn't need anything from us, if he's already got everything, if nothing can stand in his way and whatever he desires can just happen like a flash, why does he want us to serve him?
So,
Wait.
why he created us?
Just a second, let me, somebody can run that microphone over.
My question is, Hare Krishna Maharaj, why God created Jiva, and so why he doesn't need us then?
Mm-hmm.
Why create us?
Yeah,
That's my
yeah.
question.
So I was asking you a question, you're asking me a question.
Why created Jiva? Why you are here in this world? So
Right,
why doesn't
right.
need us then?
Well, first answer my question, then we'll answer your question.
I understood.
Why does God want us to serve him if we have if he has nothing he needs from us?
We are the part and parcel of Lord Krishna,
Yeah.
and Krishna loves us,
All right.
and Krishna wants us to be happy. So we have only happiness come when we actually serve.
When we what?
When we actually serve Krishna.
Right, right.
So that's why Krishna wants us to be happy. So we serve him, and we get happy. And Krishna also become happy when his
Right.
children become happy.
Right. So
So service is ultimate thing.
right. So he does not need
he
anything
doesn't
from
need.
us. However, he does want us to serve him, because by engaging, in a relationship with Krishna, we begin to develop affection for Krishna and we develop a relationship. That's all he wants. He doesn't need bread. He doesn't need carpenters. He doesn't need diodes. He doesn't need, melatonin. He doesn't need any kind of physical item. What he wants is the opportunity for his parts and parcels to engage with him. They don't have to, and he's not going to force them. But he wants us to serve him because that's how we will be happy, as you were saying. If we don't serve him, we can try to be happy in the material world. But it never turns out like we hope it will. It's always wah, wah, wah. It turns out to be a not such a good turnout. Whatever, I always tell people, I like to make this point, the more specific you are about what will make you happy, the more specific details you have about how you can become happy, the more completely likely it is that that will never happen. It's only when you give up your plan for how you will make yourself happy and you try to please Krishna, then you can be happy. Things will happen that you never expected to happen, but they will make you happy. Whereas otherwise, we will work hard for things we think will make us happy, and they won't make us happy. And I always tell people, this makes no sense. Don't wait for it to make sense. I've come to this realization myself that if you try to make yourself happy by making a plan, by following that plan, and getting other people to cooperate with your plan, however you manage to do that, it seems reasonable. In fact, everybody's doing that. In fact, most people, even if they don't think, that's what they're doing. They're thinking, I will be happy by making a plan, and I will do this, this, and this, and then I will be happy because my plan will make me happy. And makes sense, it's reasonable, it's what everybody's doing, but the problem is it doesn't work. Now, on the other side, we can tell people, we can be happy by serving God. Makes no sense. How can I be happy by serving somebody else? How can I be happy by giving up what I think will make me happy and working to make someone else happy, particularly God, who I don't even know much about? So this makes no sense, but it works. That's the issue. So I can understand why people don't accept spiritual life. I can understand why they don't accept Krishna consciousness. But good luck. Out in the world, everybody has got a plan to make themselves happy, and most people are not happy. There are those people who are struggling to be successful in their plan, and they're not happy. And there's those people who succeeded in their plan, and they're not happy. So now getting back, what's your name again? Bhagavan Krishnadas. Manmohan Krishnadas. Yeah. So getting back to Manmohan Krishnadas's question, why does Krishna make the jiva? Because if someone is a prisoner in a penal institution and he acts very bad, the most extreme that the owners and the managers of the prison do is they put him by himself in a room, and that's called solitary confinement. So Krishna does not want to enjoy by himself. He wants to enjoy with others. Arjuna says the same thing in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita. He says, if all my relatives are killed in this battle, how will I enjoy? Because we want to enjoy not only by ourselves. Who makes a party and invites only himself and goes to the party and plays music and makes a cake, but he doesn't have anybody else come.
Party needs to be gathering.
Right. We want to enjoy with other people. Now, Krishna is the supreme, and he knows everything, he can do everything, and he can make himself happy, but he makes thousands and millions of living entities so he can enjoy with them. So he can enjoy, they can enjoy, and together they can enjoy. That's why Krishna never forces anyone to worship him. If you don't want to worship him, Krishna says, fine, I have a place for you. And that place is called Queens. No, no, actually it's called the material world. It's called the material world. So the material world, people come here and they think, I will enjoy nicely here. And they try many things to enjoy nicely. But it never quite works. But we're young. When we're young, we think, oh, one day it will happen. As they say, my ship will come in. My dog will have its day. My house in the sun will be there. My rainbow, I will find it. I will find my pot of gold. I will be well known. So we have this dream. When you reach your 60s or 70s, you start to think, maybe it's not going to happen. Maybe it's going to be like this until I die. I'm never going to have my ship come in. I'm never going to reach my pot of gold. I'm never going to have my rainbow. I'm never going to have my house on the hill. I'm never going to, outshine everyone. I'm never going to win the Olympics. I'm never going to have the biggest house. I'm never going to have the biggest salary. And I'll never have a wonderful home in Southern California because maybe it'll burn down. So any of these things will maybe never happen. And so we think, oh, well, but we were not happy. So everyone thinks to be happy means I have to make a plan, I have to work that plan. And when all the details of my plan to be happy, they happen, then I will be happy. But as I was saying, the more details you have for how you will be happy, the less chance that they will actually happen. So rather we try to make Krishna happy, and then things happen that we never expected would happen. And we find things that we never thought would make us happy, but they actually make us happy. And we find that we are developing our relationship with Krishna, and as Bhagavan Narahari was explaining, that Krishna doesn't need us, but we need him, because he is the sum total of everything. And if we connect with him, then we will actually be happy in the deepest possible way. Of course, this appears theoretical to most people, but my assertion is just try it. Try making Krishna happy. Try reading what Bhagavad Gita says, hearing from devotees about how to serve in 9 different kinds of serving capacities. You try those and see if your life doesn't become more happy. You may have to give up plans that you thought would make you happy, but you will actually become happy. So Krishna, it says in the Vedas, I forget where Prabhupada mentions the fact, that Vishnu did not want to enjoy alone, so therefore he created the living entities. So all the living entities are there. Now, he didn't create them and force them to worship him. He gave them an alternative, which is not to worship him. And then he created a place where they could not worship him, and it's called the material world. And so here, once we're in the material world, we cannot worship him. But we find that we will never be happy. No matter, how many candies we get, we will never be happy. No matter how much money we make, no matter how many romantic relationships we engage in, we'll never be happy. So again, this is the idea here that Krishna is saying, Namam karmani limbhanti, namam karma palespriha. No action, karmani, no action, limbhanti, does affect me. He doesn't have anything to win, He doesn't have anything to lose. He doesn't have any plan that he has to make, because if he really had a serious plan, it would happen automatically. Name karma palespriha, nor does the fruit of action. The fruit of action is his doing anyway. Whatever we do, the law of karma is there, and the law of karma rewards fruits, both bitter and sweet fruits. You know, the fruit of sinful activity, or papa, is vikarma. We get suffering. The fruit of, and that's bitter, the fruit of punya, or, you know, good activity, is material happiness. So Krishna is giving those fruits. So he doesn't himself have to do that. He's the supplier of the whole system. So he doesn't need any of that. Now, what this verse says, 4.14, is that if you understand that, you also understand that Krishna doesn't need anything, so you're detached from success and failure in material life, because things may succeed or they may fail. If they're plans for your own material happiness, if they fail, you'll think, oh, so what? If they're plans for pleasing Krishna, they may also fail. And you'll think, well, I tried my best, but Krishna didn't fulfill. Now, you had another question, didn't you?
Yes, Maharaj. One way we can think, it's like actually with the material, not comparison with the spiritual exactly. But say I have children, every day I'm trying to look at my children's face, and one question, are you happy today? So they said, yeah, I am happy. Did you look at everything? You really happy? So when I see they said, yeah, I am happy, then as a father, I'm feeling pleasure. They are happy. So Krishna might thinking, as we want to be happy, Krishna become happy.
Right.
It couldn't be real happiness. That's how Krishna give us individual, what is called satantra, individualism, whatever you want to do. But there is scriptures. If you follow that, you will come back to me. So
Yeah.
this is actually somehow we can decide like
Well,
ourselves.
Krishna's happiness is based also on the happiness of the living entities. That's why it makes him sorry to see the living entities engaged in material nonsense, because they are causing their own suffering. And in his compassion, he sends his form as Lord Chaitanya to come and give the process of chanting Hare Krishna. And as we chant Hare Krishna, we see that this whole world, my whole life, everything in the world is just a phantasmagoria. It will all one day pass. And so therefore, let me try to understand how to make Krishna happy. And if I follow that, then what I imagine will happen in the future may happen, or it may not happen. What I think will make me happy may happen, or it may not happen. But actually, I will be coming to the end of my cycle of birth and death, and I will go back to the spiritual world. Krishna is happy when his devotees are happy. And we hear about that too, that when Radharani sees Krishna, she becomes very happy. And when Krishna sees Radharani become happy because she sees Krishna, Krishna becomes more happy. And then because Radharani sees that Krishna saw her getting more happy because she saw him, she becomes more happy. And then there is a competition between Krishna and Radha for who makes the other one more happy. So in one sense, that was, at least according to the, I can't think of the name of the book right now. There's 3 books about Lord Chaitanya's life: Chaitanya Bhagavat, the Chaitanya Charitamrita. What's the other one? Chaitanya Mangalam, right? So the Chaitanya Mangalam, I think, is the one. And it explains that Krishna was in one of his palaces, and his queens were massaging his feet, you know, and as they were massaging his feet, they began to cry. And particularly this was Rukmini, I believe it is. So she was crying, and because she was crying, Krishna wondered why she was crying. And she mentions that you do not know what your lotus feet mean to devotees. And Krishna replied, say that again? You're telling me I don't know something? And she said, well, you can't know it. You're the Supreme Lord. You're in the absolute position. All of us are tiny jiva souls. We're not in the absolute position. And what your feet mean to us, you can't know that. So Krishna said, I've got to know that. So he decided to come to the material world in the mood of Radharani, because Rukmini said that actually only Radha knows for sure. So he came with that mood to come to the material world and experience what it's like for his devotees to interact with him. That was what he came to do. And as a result, he came as Lord Chaitanya. Yes, Dhananjaya.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, whatever you said, extremely very, very, very important and extremely well explained. You already said right, like the Krishna has everything. There is nothing he needs.
Right.
He's full, all in all and all. So he doesn't need anything. And for enjoyment, like without anything, we cannot enjoy. Like the Arjuna, you explain. Give the example of. So Krishna created us for enjoyment, and then everybody we just whoever created, they are becoming like the Onu and he's the Bibu.
Mm-hmm.
But we have the quantity wise, we have the very little quality of Krishna. So same way, like whatever the Krishna want to enjoy or have full in himself, the Onu one, the little one also wants to become like this because of the quantity or quality. Like one drop of water and then one whole ocean. So similarly, like they wanted to freedom and then enjoy everything and then becoming like king, like Krishna. So Krishna gave us freedom. So we wanted to enjoy our freedom, but Krishna says, when you see me, like you're not going to enjoy because you see I'm the supreme. So you need to have another world. So he created the materialistic world. So he sent us over here to enjoy ourselves, and we are enjoying. But Krishna, Prabhuji was talking about like that when the children was like happy, and Krishna father become happy. But there is a happiness is in a difference. Like something good, whenever they do, they experience very nice thing, and then something they do wrong or something, they enjoy something else. So two things not same. It's two different things. Good thing, right path, and the wrong path. So the wrong path is not acceptable. That's why Krishna gave us the instruction based on the Gita, Bhagavad Gita. So these are the essence and everything, and then choose the right path to come back to me.
Well, Krishna gives us always a choice.
Right.
And if we're doing the wrong thing, we will not feel happy.
Right.
We will not feel satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
We will feel confused.
Exactly.
So all these things are indications that we're on the wrong path. And so therefore, when we turn our face back to Krishna, everything clears up again.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why there's that verse, Krishna Bahir Mukha Hanya Bhogavanchakare Nikatastamaya Japati Dhare, that when the living entity turns his face away from Krishna, Maya slaps him down into the material world. And in the material world, we have this option to not serve Krishna. We don't have that option in the spiritual world. We have the option to desire to not serve Krishna. Immediately when we have that desire, we come here. So here we can have the actual option not to serve Krishna. Everyone in the spiritual world serves Krishna. They want to serve Krishna, and they have no desire not to serve Krishna. So in the spiritual world, everyone is fulfilled and happy because Krishna is the source of all pleasure. As we were saying, he's sometimes known as Rama, the reservoir of pleasure. So all pleasure comes from Krishna. At least this is the theory. All pleasure comes from Krishna. So therefore, the easiest and most foolproof way to get pleasure is to try to connect with Krishna. You can try to do it some indirect way, but you may not be successful, and most likely you will never feel fully satisfied. You will feel somewhat satisfied. Yeah. And then you'll have to endure, as you were mentioning, the fruits of your sinful activities, because in the material world, no one is able to do only pious activities. Even if one wants material happiness of any type, however small, then one will engage to some extent in sinful activities. And then we have to suffer as a result of those sinful activities.
Maharaj, if I just explain like in 2-3 sentences.
Get the microphone and then you can give it back to him.
Let me say one thing.
Oh, go.
So, like the way you explained very nicely, Krishna is all in all, and he has everything. He does not need anything. But for us, we need to, let's say, as a in the materialistic world, we have to be a servant for no matter what, anything. Do we choose the
Right.
Maya or we choose the Krishna's path? Either way, we have to be servant.
Either way, we're
So
serving.
we have to choose our better and best way.
Right.
So it is our duty to do the best. So if we do the wrong
Makes
thing,
more sense
we
to
will-
choose
we-
Krishna and serve
Right.
him rather than to serve our mind or the
Exactly.
material world or our wife or husband or whatever it is.
Thank you very much.
I'm saying like if we just give like 2-3 sentence, some devotees might not understand proper English.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what do we talk about? At least gist, if you allow.
You're going to translate into Bengali, is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
not whole things, just
Okay.
at least what we talk.
Yeah, go ahead.
হরে কৃষ্ণ। সো মহারাজ এখানে যে বিষয়টা বলেছেন যে আমরা বিভিন্নভাবে সুখী হতে চাই, কিন্তু আসলে সুখী আমরা হই না। যে কারণে আমরা ভগবানকে ভুলে আমরা বিভিন্নভাবে কেউ বাড়ি করছি, কেউ সুন্দর ছেলের বউ নিয়ে আসছি আনন্দ করার জন্য, সবাই নাতিনি নিয়ে আসছে, সম্পদ করছে, অনেকে বিভিন্ন ধরনের আশা করছি। এটাই মহারাজ কয়েকবার বলছেন আমরা বিভিন্ন কিছু চাই, কিন্তু সত্যিকার অর্থে আমরা কেউ খুশি হই না। কিন্তু সত্যিকার অর্থে খুশি হওয়ার জন্য আমাদের যে জিনিসটা প্রয়োজন, ভগবানের সাথে কানেকশন নেওয়া দরকার, এবং সেটা যদি হয় তাহলে যে আনন্দটা পাবো সেটা থাকবে। আর ভগবান খুশি হন আমরা যখন খুশি হই। তো আমরা জীব, আমরা খুশি হব আলটিমেট, আমরা যখন খুশি হব তখন ভগবান খুশি হবেন। কিন্তু আমরা আলটিমেট খুশি কখন হব? এই টেম্পোরারি মনে করেন লটারি জিতে গেলাম আর আমি বাড়িঘর করে সারা জীবনের জন্য আর কাজ করা লাগবে না, বসে বসে শুয়ে শুয়ে খাবো, এই ধরনের জিত একসময় এটা ফিনিশ হয়ে যাবে এবং এটার থেকেও দুঃখ আসবে। তো এটাতে কিন্তু আলটিমেটলি আমরা সুখীটা হব না। যে কারণে কৃষ্ণ স্ক্রিপচার দিয়েছেন আমাদেরকে, ভগবত গীতা দিয়েছেন, বেদ দিয়েছেন। তো আমরা ভগবত গীতা হচ্ছে সাবস্টেন্স এন্ড সামারাইজ। তো আমরা যদি ভগবত গীতাকে ফলো করি এবং সাধুদের সাধুসঙ্গ করি এবং সেইভাবে আমাদের জীবন চালাই, তাহলে আমরা খুশি হব। যেমন আপনার সন্তান যখন খুশি থাকে তখন মা হিসাবে আপনিও সুন্দর মতনই বাড়িতেই থাকেন যে আমার ছেলেটা মেয়েটা খুশি আছে। ঠিক ভগবানও সেরকম খুশি থাকেন যখন আমরা খুশি থাকি। আর আমরা কীভাবে খুশি থাকি? সত্যিকার খুশিটা হচ্ছে ভগবানের সাথে যখন আমরা কানেকশন থাকি, সেবা করে। তো এটি মহারাজ বলেছেন। থ্যাংক ইউ মহারাজ।
Okay.
Thank you. It's already...
Yeah, I think we should stop there.